I have spent a lot of time with my Nintendo Switch over the past 10 months, and I had been surprised at how many AAA and indie games I ended up spending. There are games, however, that I regret spending. Whether the games were just too underwhelming, or clearly not the price that they are worth. So, here are 4 games that were disappointing to me. King of Fighters 98. I have never played a King of Fighters game prior to this, so I was hoping for a new and exciting experience. I was very excited, nonetheless, to play a new fighting game. When I didn't know before I actually bought the game, was that this was the arcade version, not some console version. So you are virtually stuck with only playing single-player arcade mode and versus mode. This was a real turn-off for me, because without a training mode, I couldn't be able to practice. There were some characters that I'd grown a fondness for, but really didn't have any way to experiment with combos, and as of now, I don't have any new controllers, so if I were to fight against a 2P dummy, I'd have to only use a single Joy-Con, and those things are not for a game like this. King of Fighters 98 or any others, do not buy. Shi-Fi. Shi-Fi is a card game, and it's $5. Card games intrigue me, whether it be Gwent, or Hand of Fate. Here's hoping for Hand of Fate 2 for the Switch. But anyway, Shi-Fi is a game where you have to get to 1000 sheep at the end of 3 rounds, and it's a lot harder than it sounds. You have a deck of cards that allow you to gain and lose sheep under special circumstances, and not always will you have a card in your hand that can help you, so you end up using a card that you didn't need to use now that you could have used better later. There is a story mode, which may creep some players out, but after the first chapter, I didn't want to bother with it anymore just because I didn't think continuing to play was worth it after managing to get 1000 sheep just one time. It can be very frustrating when you aren't given the cards that you need until it is too late. Infinite Mini Golf. I thought this game was going to be a blast, but I was wrong. Believe me when I say that it is so boring. At the start, there are only 3 mini golf courses you can play on. They offer 2 more as free DLC, but regardless, you have a progression system. Every time you level up, you unlock more items for sale for your character, and it's usually a long, dull grind in order to get the max level. The game encourages you to play user-created holes, but none that I found were all that creative, and a lot of people just made straight holes that would get you to complete power-up based quests and such. The time it takes to get to the top level just isn't worth it, and at least this was on the Switch, as I couldn't imagine what it would be like to play this on PS4 or Xbox One. Battle Chef Brigade. Don't get me wrong. This is a great game. The concept of killing monsters in the wild and cooking their ingredients to make a dish for a judge is a wonderful idea. The game, however, is just too short and shallow. You get great, simple action mechanics, great match 3 puzzle mechanics, and a story that did a great job that tried to be interesting and presentable, but despite all of this, I can't recommend you to buy it for $20. First of all, you have one small area of 3 to explore throughout the whole game. You know where to find monsters if you are looking for them, but after you played one match, you would pretty much know what to expect, that this was going to be the setting for the whole story. I did enjoy the story, but I can pretty much tell that a lot of it was filler to make the game longer. Was there any point to sending Mina home when she just came back to the academy shortly after? I feel as if when something changed in the story, like Mina going to a new location on the map, that the story was opening up to something bigger and better, but alas, that didn't happen. If you are interested in this game, $10 is what you should pay for it.